Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes, and today I'm going to be ranking all 4 of the Purge movies from worst to best. This will include the new movie, The First Purge, so obviously if you haven't seen any of the Purge movies then this video is going to include spoilers. So before I jump into it, let me know how you would rank the Purge movies from worst to best, as always down in those comments below. And without further ado, let's jump into it, and in at number 4 it is The Purge. So for me, the first time isn't the best time, which is weird to say because usually franchises kind of decrease in quality as they go along, but with like the Fast and Furious and Mission Impossible franchise, I actually think The Purge does get better as it goes on. But for me, The First Purge isn't great. It's a very good premise. I just don't think the execution is there. It had very bland characters. I despised the little kid in this movie. I thought he was terrible. I liked the idea of it being self-contained in the house. I think it was nice that we got one of those movies in the Purge franchise. But yeah, it just really lacked. The best thing about this movie, by a country mile, is the leader of the freaks. I don't think he has a name. I don't think his character has a name. But the really creepy dude, he had such a charismatic performance and he was such a great villain. It's a shame he got killed off, to be honest with you, because I would have really liked to have seen him in other Purge movies. He was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, for me, The Purge sadly is the worst in the Purge franchise. And next up we have The Purge Anarchy, which did begin to set right the wrongs of The Purge. I really enjoyed this movie actually. I think it had a lot better story. I think Leo Barnes was a great lead character. That's Frank Grillo's character. I really liked his story of kind of redemption slash revenge, where he was seeking out to take revenge on his son's killer. I thought that was a really great addition into the Purge story overall. It definitely worked for me. What really lets down the Purge Anarchy though is that the additional characters in this film are really dislikable. Apart from Frank Grillo's character, I didn't really care for any of them. They were all kind of stupid, bland characters, and it did kind of let down the movie. But from like a set piece standpoint and a story standpoint, as I said earlier on, it did really start to begin to set the wrongs of the first Purge. We got to see the Purge on a bigger scale. We got to see more kind of ludicrous, over the top, like dramatic killings, and that was really interesting. We also got the kind of introduction to the anti-NFAA with Michael K. Williams' character. So there was some really nice story points in this movie. As I said, what let it down for me was that again, there was just a lot of weak characters. And next up, it is the latest addition into the Purge franchise, The First Purge. And probably the reason this film is so high on my list is for none other than the character Dimitri, played by Yaya Knoll. He is incredible. I don't want to say he drags this film, but he certainly raises this film to another level. He is incredible. What a badass. As I said in my review, he is a really great anti-hero. He walks that line and he blurs that line between hero and villain very well. And yeah, he's just a character that you can really root and get behind. I still think the story to The First Purge is very interesting. It does take a little while to get into, but obviously it's a prequel, so it kind of has to set up that story of where the Purge really came about, and because in all the other films it's already been there, so that did kind of lack a little bit for me. Again, I liked the supporting characters in this movie, but I just wanted to see all Dimitri all the time. I thought he was brilliant. Again, what I really liked about this movie as well is that it had a lot of kind of political influence and political symbolism, and I thought that it was handled really well. Again, I mentioned this in my review, but I do feel like this Purge movie, although we did start to see it in the other Purge sequels, especially Anarchy and more into Election Year, is that it did start to feel like they had shifted these movies from horrors more to like action thrillers, and especially the film's final act in this movie is definitely definitely like paying homage to Die Hard, I felt. But yeah, a really, really fun and solid addition into the Purge franchise, and that's why it's second on this list, is because it's still very enjoyable, even though it's very different. In at number 1, it is The Purge Election Year. Without a doubt, this is my favourite Purge movie, because for me, it gets everything right that I want in a Purge movie. It has the best story. It's a really great story, this movie, where they kind of change things up a little bit, and it becomes like a hit revenge mission almost. Frank Grillo is back. He reprises his role as Leon Barnes, and he's there to protect and serve once again, but there's more of a story to it this time. I think all of the characters, the supporting characters in this movie, are likable. It's the first time it's happened in a Purge movie, but we don't get these really annoying character tropes from them. They're all pretty cool. Yes, there are a few cheesy moments. The blood and the crypt scene sticks out to me, but yeah, all of the characters are really, really likable in this movie, so that definitely added to my overall enjoyment. Also, I think this is the best Purge movie for all of the kind of American symbolism and the masks. I haven't seen this film in over a year, but one of my favourite scenes from the Purge Election Year is where I think it's just like an old lady sitting on a bench and she's got like a body on fire, and it's just dead nonchalant. It happens in the background of a scene, but it just is really vivid and it really stuck with me. And also the kind of, as the Honest Trailer guy called them, the spring breakers, like the girls that break into the guy's shop early on in the film and they come back. She's got like the weird Kiss Me mask on. She's got all the cars with the twinkly lights on it, and for those of you that watch the Tim Tracker, there's a really specific reference here of I'm gonna put my hands up playing my song, because it's those cars. The butterflies fly away. But yes, a really, really enjoyable movie, and genuinely I think is the best Purge film. So that is my list and personal rankings of the Purge franchise. Let me know your opinions and your lists of the Purge franchise, as always, down in those comments below. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews and awesome bonus features like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the very next episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. Ta-ra!